They told me I was no longer his daughter. At the funeral, my stepmother Serena smiled as my name vanished from the will, her ice-cold eyes gleaming with victory. I stood in the shadows of the cathedral, knuckles white against the pew, the air thick with lilies and ambition. My father, Graham Blake, the steel titan, lay small in his casket, his empire now hers and my half-brother Dylan's. I was Luna Blake once, but betrayal had scarred me deep. First in the military, where comrades sold me out in a covert op, leaving me discharged and broken. Now this. Serena's eulogy twisted like a knife, calling me a traitor. Dylan clapped, smirking. Humiliation burned, but rage ignited. I walked out into the rain, vowing revenge. The call came 3 weeks earlier. At 2 a.m., my father's voice ragged through the storm. Don't trust them, Luna. Find Mr. Green. He knows the truth. Terror laced his words, a man who built empires now pleading. I gripped the phone, heart pounding, flashbacks to military betrayals flooding back, superiors covering lies, leaving me for dead in the desert. This was family worse. Serena and Dylan had isolated him, poisoned his mind. He whispered of hidden fire that could burn them down. The line went dead. I stared at the ceiling, the disciplined soldier in me awakening. Resilience surged. I would find Green, reclaim my power, and make them pay. Childhood memories smelled of burnt soup. The day my mother collapsed in the kitchen, her laughter silenced forever. I was 10, alone in the vast Ravenwood estate, my father vanishing into his steel mills, leaving me to ghosts and nannies. 4 months later, Serena arrived, blonde and calculating, her red suitcase a shock of color in our gray world. She assessed everything with greedy eyes, promising light but bringing shadows. Dylan came soon after, the golden child, stealing my playroom, my father's attention. I became invisible, erased slowly. Portraits of mother moved to the attic, dinners alone. Betrayal started here, layering scars on my young heart. In the military, I sought escape, enlisting at 18, forging discipline in boot camp's fire. But betrayal struck again, a mission gone wrong, intel leaked by a trusted sergeant for personal gain, leaving my unit ambushed. I survived, barely, discharged with honors tainted by whispers of failure. Returning home, I clawed into father's company, welding in mills, earning my place. Serena watched, her smile venomous. Dylan, spoiled and vain, mocked my efforts. Emotional layers peeled away, revealing resilience. But the past predator waited. Now, with father's call echoing, I drove through the night, survival instincts sharp, ready to unearth what Serena hid. Ravenwood loomed like a fortress in the storm, gates barred, guards eyeing my truck suspiciously. I demanded entry, rain soaking me, but Serena appeared on the porch, silk robe flawless, denying me. He's resting, she lied, her voice smooth poison. Dylan smirked behind her, calling me pathetic. Humiliation echoed military courtrooms where betrayal branded me. I pleaded to see father, but they slammed the door. Driving away, fury boiled, resilience from desert sands fueling me. I would not break. Father's words haunted. Find Green, the retired butler, hiding the truth. In a dingy motel, I traced Green, my scarred hands steady on the laptop. Military training kicked in, surveillance, patience. I found him in a coastal cabin, wary but kind, eyes holding secrets. Your father trusted me, he whispered, handing an envelope. Inside, The true will, naming me heir, exposing Serena's fraud. Emails, records, millions embezzled. Betrayal's depth hit like a blast. Father knew my innocence, regretted disowning me. Emotional layers cracked. Tears fell for the first time since the ambush. Green's voice trembled. He said you'd burn it all down. Tension coiled. I had the weapon. Survival demanded I wield it carefully. Back in Maine, my coastal haven, Eli waited, his boat designer hands gentle on my shoulders. I confessed the call, the betrayal mirroring military scars, comrades turning for bribes, leaving me wounded. He urged caution, but resilience burned. I pored over documents, Father's handwritten notes, detailing Serena's schemes, Dylan's complicity. They had drugged him, forged signatures. Rage layered with grief. I was no longer the displaced daughter, but a warrior reclaiming dignity. Eli's eyes worried. This could destroy you. But I knew survival meant facing the fire. Driving to Cleveland, I met Evelyn Hart, a fierce lawyer with steel-gray hair. She reviewed the envelope, nodding grimly. This is demolition, fraud, abuse. We planned. Emergency injunction, asset freeze. But I halted her. Not yet. I need to see their faces shatter. Military discipline held. Revenge required precision. Evelyn wired me. Team on standby. Tension mounted as I drove to Ravenwood, sun casting sharp shadows. Gates open this time. Guards waved me through. Heart pounding, I stepped inside, the house smelling of lies. Voices from the drawing room, Serena and Dylan celebrating. Revelation awaited. I entered the room, boots tracking dust on their Persian rug. Serena froze mid-sip. Dylan choked on tea. How? He demanded. I stood tall, shadow falling over their champagne. Father called me. I said, voice steady like a soldier's command. Envelope on table, true will, evidence fanned out. Dylan's face paled reading it. All to me, them stipend. Serena's hand shook, tea spilling. Forgery, she hissed. I played the recording. Father's firm voice condemning them. Emotional scars throbbed. Betrayal's echo from military days fueled my calm. Dylan lunged, tearing papers, burning them in the fireplace. Gone, he screamed. I smiled coldly. Photocopies, idiot. Originals safe. Serena pleaded deals, but phones rang. Attorneys, warrants. Police lights flashed outside. I stepped away, dignity reclaimed. Justice is here. Officers rushed in. I walked out free. But tension lingered, trial loomed, survival's next battle. Resilience hardened. I was transformed, the broken daughter now empowered avenger. Courtroom chaos swirled. Reporters, investors, workers scarred by Northbridge's failures. I sat composed, navy blazer simple, facing Serena's crumbling facade, Dylan's frantic eyes. Evelyn opened, facts laid bare, video of Father's true will playing. His voice pierced the silence. Luna's the only honest one. Jury leaned in. Serena's mask cracked. Mortimer testified, admitting bribes, guided signatures on drugged father. Emotional layers peeled. Grief for his suffering, rage at their cruelty. Green's account of abuse broke me inside, but discipline held. Noah's logs exposed isolation, deleted records. Defense attacked me, vindictive daughter. But Father's letter projected, his regret, my honesty. Then Mortimer's secret recording, Serena's cold orders to withhold morphine. She screamed, "Illegal." Chaos erupted. Jury's revulsion sealed it. Deliberation short. Guilty on all counts. Sentences: 15 years for her, 8 for him. Assets restored to me. Revelation hit. Empire mine. But power's weight pressed. Revenge complete, yet scars remained. Back at Northbridge Tower, I entered as chairwoman, boots echoing. Board awaited, nervous. I sat in father's chair, hands flat on granite. No more secrets, I declared, exposing their complicity. Envelopes dropped. Resign or face prosecution. 5 signed, escorted out. Auditors tore through books, restitution ordered. Millions to victims. I wrote checks for injured workers, cleansing hereditary sin. Resilience from military betrayals guided me. Survival meant integrity. Emotional depth surged, dignity and honesty. Ravenwood sold fast, proceeds to charity, evicting memories. New coastal home with Eli, workshop built. Northbridge foundry reforged. Weekends welding, bending steel anew. Symbol of transformation. Rust to strength. Tension eased, but power's responsibility loomed. I visited father's grave, placing will copy, gear weighing it. You gave me the hammer. Wind sighed, forgiveness tentative. Scars layered, but I stood unbroken. Boardroom shifted, union reps, foreman replaced suits. New agreement signed, better pay, safety, shares. Not my father, I said, handshake firm. Alone at window, steam rose clean from mills. Reflection showed warrior, forged in fire. Military betrayal taught survival. Family won, resilience. Dignity reclaimed, but journey ongoing. Emotional power swelled, revenge birthed renewal. Home's ocean roar soothed. Eli sketched, Sparky barked. Workshop hummed. I welded a gate, sparks flying like stars. Transformation complete, displaced to dominant. But night's quiet brought whispers, betrayal's ghosts. Power demanded vigilance. I would guard it fiercely. Months later, Northbridge thrived honestly, profit steady, workers loyal. I spoke at galas, not as heiress, but survivor. Scars shared, military ambush, family fraud. Audiences gripped, seeing resilience. Serena's letters from prison begged mercy. I burned them. Dylan's appeals denied. Revenge's sweetness lingered, but emotional layers deepened. Forgiveness elusive. Dignity mine, power wielded wisely. Eli proposed on the cliff. Ring simple steel I forged. You're my strength, he said. Wedding small, ocean witness. Tension released, future beckoned. But survival's instinct remained. Betrayal's taught wariness. I embraced it, layered soul intact. Years on, empire solid, I mentored youth from mills, sharing scars lessons. Military betrayal faded. Family won a tale told. Home filled with laughter. Our child played, knowing love's warmth. Workshop creations sold, proceeds to veterans. Transformation profound, broken to unbreakable. Revenge healed, resilience eternal. At father's grave again, leaves golden. We did it, I whispered. Wind carried peace. Emotional power crested, dignity reclaimed, life reforged. As sun set, I walked away, steel in my step, ready for whatever storm came next.